Hello everybody and welcome to another Vintage Fans and More how-to installation video. Today we're installing the Hunter Pendleton collection. I'm showing the installation with the Canyonlands model, but the installation is exactly the same for Spider Rock as well. This installation is pretty straightforward. There are a couple of tricky bits and new Hunter features that I will get into, so let's go ahead and get started. Before you begin, turn off power at the breaker or fuse. Open the box. If you're using a sharp instrument, be sure not to slice too deeply into the box as there are parts right below the flaps that could be damaged. I prefer to remove all contents from the box, laying them out to ensure that all parts are accounted for and that nothing is damaged. Locate the motor, desired length of downrod with ball installed, and canopy. Unbundle the wires exiting the top of the motor, making them as straight as possible and ensuring that there are no knots or tangles. Remove the pre-installed set screw from the downrod coupler and discard the label. Do not discard or lose track of the screw, you'll need it again. Bundle the 3 wires from the motor together and feed them through the threaded end of the downrod. As the wires exit the top end of the downrod, ensure that they are all on one side of the interior pin. This will avoid the wires twisting and coiling together as the downrod is inserted. After pulling all excess wire through, begin twisting the downrod into the motor coupler. Tighten the downrod into the motor until it stops, at least 3 to 5 full turns. Reinsert the set screw and tighten with pliers. This screw must be fully secure, it cannot be only hand tightened. To keep my fans in like-new condition, I choose not to cut the lead wires, but now is the time to do so if you would prefer to. Gather the wires, evenly trimming them so that 8 to 12 inches remains exiting the top of the downrod. With Hunter fans, you can use the green ground wire attached to the downrod as a guide for how short you should trim your wires. Restrip the wire ends, then you're ready to proceed. Feed the wiring through the bottom side of the canopy and pull all excess through. Pass the canopy over the downrod and allow it to sit down on top of the motor. We will now move to the ceiling. Locate the ceiling bracket and canopy screws found in the bag marked with a circle. Attach the ceiling bracket to your electrical box or building structure using appropriate screws. Ceiling fans should only be mounted directly to electrical boxes that are visibly marked as being suitable for ceiling fan support. If you are at all in doubt of your electrical infrastructure, contact a qualified electrician. Tighten until the rubber mounting pads sit flush against the ceiling. Push the wiring to the side of the bracket opening in preparation for mounting the fan. Lift the entire motor assembly into the mounting bracket, ensuring that the ball seats firmly into the socket. Never lift the fan by its wiring. Make all wiring connections. 2 green and yellow striped ground wires, one from the ceiling bracket and one from the downrod, pair with ground at the ceiling, typically green or bare copper. White from the fan pairs with neutral at the ceiling, typically white. If your existing installation only utilizes a 1-gang switch location at the wall, pair the black wire coming from the fan with hot at the ceiling, typically black or red. If you have an extra wire that allowed for separate light kit control from a singular control unit, typically blue or red in color, you can simply cap it off. Also cap off the blue wire coming from the fan. If your existing installation utilizes a 2-gang switch location at the wall, where one switch controls the fan and one switch controls the light, the blue wire from the fan can be connected to the extra wire at the ceiling, again typically red or blue in color. This allows you to control on and off power to the fan and light individually from their respective switches. This eliminates having to remove a switch or having a dead switch that controls nothing. The included handheld control or accessory wall control are utilized to change fan and light settings. Any existing speed controls or dimmers should be removed and replaced with single pole on-off switches. Tuck the wiring up into the electrical box. Gather all excess wire and tuck it into the mounting bracket. Raise the canopy, aligning it with the ceiling bracket, and insert the 2 canopy screws on either side. Start both screws, then tighten securely. Locate the blades, blade screws found in the bag marked with a triangle, and the blade washers found in the bag marked with a square. Select which blade pattern you'd like to show. Fasten the blades to the motor utilizing the screws and washers. It's easiest to start each screw, then tighten all securely. This part can also be a little bit difficult as the motor wants to rotate as you're inserting the screws. It may be beneficial to have a second set of hands to help hold everything in place. Repeat for all remaining blades. Locate the trim ring, LED assembly, and cap, as well as the light kit screws found in the bag marked with 3 lines. From here I screwed up my order of operations a little bit from what the manual indicates, but everything leads to the same result. Remove the rubber band from the wiring on the bottom of the fan if you haven't already. Thread 2 of the light kit screws into the plate on the bottom of the motor about halfway. It does not matter which positions you choose to utilize. Lift the trim ring to the motor, passing the wiring through and engaging the keyhole slots onto the screws. Insert a 3rd screw into the final position and tighten all securely. Lift the LED assembly to the fan and plug together the corresponding connectors. I apologize that they're a little out of frame here. Attach the LED assembly to the trim ring utilizing 2 more of the light kit screws. This step should have been completed prior to installing the trim ring to the fan. Tuck the wiring into the recess above the light. Thread another light kit screw about halfway into one of the remaining positions on the trim ring. Slide one side of the cap onto the pre-installed screw, then insert the 2nd screw and tighten both securely. Ensure that no wiring is being pinched in the edges of the cap. Locate the glass. Align the notches in the glass with the tabs in the fan. Push up on the glass as far as it will go, then rotate clockwise until it engages. This completes installation at the ceiling. Locate the included handheld control and the included battery. If there is a screw holding the battery access in place, remove it, then slide off the battery compartment door. Insert the battery as indicated, then replace the door and screw. You can utilize the included cradle if you'd like to mount the remote in any location. Restore power. There is no additional setup required and your fan is ready to go. With power restored, your fan should be ready for operation. If you enjoyed today's video, subscribe and ring the notification bell before you leave. I should have lots of new products and installation videos coming up, so you don't want to miss out. Thank you all for watching today, and I'll see you on the next one. Click left to watch my Canyonlands product review, or click right for my entire Hunter playlist.